Hello and welcome to Briggs on Books. This is Hope Rosky stepping in for Mike Briggs today. I would like to introduce a writer who definitely is somebody who tugs at my heartstrings because she is a retired school teacher. I'd like to welcome to the show Linda Frank. Linda, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here, and thank you for the opportunity for me to talk about my books.
Well, I'm so excited to hear about them because the way you actually got into writing is through teaching. And I think the viewers would be very interested in learning about how you fell into the passion of becoming an author.
Okay, well, basically, when you teach, and you know this as well, you do a lot of writing. You end up writing things even if you don't want to. I got involved in curriculum writing because I like to create really creative lessons. My area was science, and it was very easy to be creative there. When I went to school, I didn't like to write, but eventually, what happened was I got to teach forensic science, and in order to make the subject interesting for the students, what I would do is write mysteries, and they would have to solve them using forensic science. So we ended up having crime scenes in the school. The kids could get kids from the cafeteria, and they could be expert witnesses and lawyers and prosecutors, and then we would do a court case, and we would find some poor child guilty of whatever crime it was. So we had a lot of fun with it, and I
It was
liked
never the
some of the
school
stories.
principal, right?
What?
I said it was never the school principal, correct? It was one of the students
No,
who,
no, we
right?
liked him. He was a good
Yes.
guy. So,
Yes.
no, we didn't do him in. Um, some of the gym teachers, no, never mind.
We won't go there. Okay.
Yeah, but I liked Nancy Drew when I was a kid. In fact, she made me a reader, and I owe her a debt of gratitude for that. So I said, let me see what I can do with the forensic science and the Nancy Drew. I didn't know anything about writing a book, so I took a course in novel writing. In
Hmm.
fact, I took two courses, and I wrote the first two books in those courses. And so that's the way it all happened. And eventually, what I did was, at that time, self-publishing was becoming very popular. Before that, it was vanity press, and you had it printed and you put it away for your grandchildren or whatever. But as you well know, independent writers now are publishing scene, so to speak, and there are many companies that offer you all kinds of services, which in the beginning was very helpful because I needed an editorial review. I needed somebody to tell me this is what you need to change. And I really advise people who are going into this and writing a book that they should learn as much as possible before they go to Kindle Direct Publishing or Universe or any of the other companies because you want to submit something that doesn't have to be really worked on. So that's how I got into it. And now it's marketing, marketing, marketing. I have a TV interview show. My interview show is called The Writer's Dream, and I do local Long Island authors. So I've been doing that
Fascinating.
for 13 years now. And I also do a series of lectures and topics in forensic science. So I'm a busy lady.
Yes, you are. I mean, they always talk about when teachers retire, oh, you'll just, relax and this and that. And I find myself busier now than when I was as a school teacher. So I understand where you're coming from. And I think it's fascinating that you're basically opening up doors for other people too, which I commend you because it does take a special teacher to teach people who really want to maybe look into gaining some momentum in this field. So with that said, as you started into this independent journey, let's talk about the first book you released and then how it morphed into more.
Okay, so the first book was called The Madonna Ghost. And I, at one time, did volunteer work in the lighthouse on Fire Island. Fire Island is a barrier beach. You in California understand barrier beaches and all that kind of stuff. So we have a barrier beach that's very famous, actually, called Fire Island. And it has a lighthouse on it. The original one was commissioned by George Washington. and I volunteered there. School groups would come, and it was quite a nice museum inside, and there was a photograph, a really mural-sized photograph on the wall of like Red Cross treating people who were shipwrecked. There were at one time many, many shipwrecks off the coast of Fire Island, and this kind of grabbed my imagination, and I decided that okay, I'd like to really write a book about Fire Island and bring in the history and also make it in the present day and bring in a crime that would be logical for Fire Island in this day and age. So I wrote a book called The Madonna Ghost. Had nothing whatsoever to do with the singer Madonna. Madonna is a mother figure. Mm-hmm. So my ghost is a mother figure. She is a lady who was shipwrecked. She was coming to this country from Ireland. No, actually, it wasn't Ireland. It was Holland, and the boat was shipwrecked. She was coming to join her husband. Usually, that's what happened. The husbands came first. They established themselves, and then they called for the wives and the children. And what she did was she had to swim to shore, so she wrapped her baby against her body, but the baby drowned. So she was seen walking the beach looking for someone to help the baby, and that was the Madonna Ghost. And so my main character, whose name is Annie Tillery, goes to Fire Island on vacation, meets Tyler Egan, who becomes her longtime boyfriend, and together they solve the mystery. And she finds out that there really is a ghost. And she asks Tyler, she says, "Can I see it?" He says, well, let's see. So they see the ghost, but the ghost is really a very mysterious creature. I can't tell you anymore. You have to read the
You have to
rest.
read it to find out. So then from there, did you kind of lean more into that forensic science part of your career with
Sure.
the rest of your literature?
Every book that I write has a crime that needs forensic science. The second book is called Girl with Pencil Drawing. And what happens in that book is my Annie gets she wins a series of art lessons. And she goes to this wonderful gallery in Soho, and she's taking the lessons, and she notices that there's something odd going on. And she gets involved with actually the fact that the manager of the gallery is murdered. And her instructor, who she becomes friendly with, is the prime suspect. So, of course, she has to find out what happened so that she can get her instructor free of these charges. She has an aunt who's a New York City police detective, which is a big help. And so she's friendly with some people on the force. I had to have some connection because a teenage girl is just not going to have forensic science unless she has a chemistry set or something. So I had to have some connection. So the connection is her aunt who's as I said, a police detective, and her father works for the State Department. So between the two of them, we cover a lot of territory as far as forensic science and crime solving go. And the third book is Secrets in the Fairy Chimneys, has absolutely nothing to do with fairies. Fairy chimneys are geological formations in Turkey. And I went to Turkey to research this book, and that was fascinating. And that one takes place at an archaeological dig. And of course, artifacts are being stolen, and the reason why she's there is she's on a school project to work at this dig. I mean, she really has some nice connections because in order to make it interesting, that's what you have to do. So there's a lot of DNA technology in that one, and there's also a lot of travelogue stuff. She spends time in Istanbul, which I found one of the most fascinating cities there is. And so I describe all of that, and that's an exciting book. And also all my books are a little bit, she's always getting into some real danger. And the final book in that series so far is called The Mystery of the Lost Avenger. That's the only book she doesn't get hit in the head.
That's the one, I think we have a book cover jacket with that. And so that's the latest one. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, this book is a really great story for girls because it takes place in two times. What happens is a plane crashes in 1943. What is the plane? The plane is an Avenger. The Avenger was a real plane. And you in California, probably somewhere in California, know about this plane. It was manufactured here by Grumman Aviation, and then women, who were called Women Air Service Pilots or WASPs, flew them to Miramar in California, which is a big naval base, and put them on the aircraft carriers that fought in World War II. This is the plane that George Bush the Elder crashed in during World War II, but he survived.
That's
So,
that to me, I like the way you bring in what I would call that historical part. So you have
always.
what you see is that historical fiction writing melded in with your forensic science. What a great combination.
Yeah, I had one reviewer say it's nice that that you sneak in all those facts. So, yeah, and I mean, that's a talent of teachers, correct? So the plane is not found until the present. And so when the plane has to be then investigated by NCIS because it's a Navy plane. And so they come and they find a work order with Annie Tillery's great grandmother's name on it. So they confront the family with this, and of course, Annie has to solve this mystery. What was her great grandmother doing writing a note that's in the plane? Because the note's a little mysterious. So she has to go back to the family home in Maryland. They go into the attic and they find all of these love letters, and um, there's a code in the love letters. So she and Ty have to unravel this code and find out what happens. But the book takes place in two different times. So I keep going back to great grandma in 1943 and then back to Annie in the present time. And so what I like to bring in is all the really cool facts about the women who really helped to win the war in World War II. So we have Rosie the Riveter. We have a sabotage plot. I even bring in some of the sabotage that occurred here on Long Island at that time. And there's a ghost, and there's a romance. This book has
It has a
everything.
little bit of everything, a good blend of spices going on. Well, I tell you what, I know I will be looking forward to reading it because you said a keyword in there, my home state of Maryland. So I will be looking forward to reading a bit about that too. But I just, like I said, Linda, I am just so fascinated how you just bring it all together, and what a gift and what a talent. How can the viewers, if they want to order your books, do you have a particular website, or can they go through Amazon?
Yeah, my website is my name. It's Linda Maria Frank. I don't go by Linda Frank because it's a common name and there is another author by that name. So I go by the name Linda Maria Frank.
Okay.
And it's just lindamariafrank.com, and you click on it's a really beautiful website. The artwork's really nice. You click on the book, and it takes you right to Amazon.
Well,
And for some to Barnes and Noble. There's a blog on the website. It's a neat website. So there's a lot of info, and you can just go directly to Amazon. They're all on Amazon.
I am meeting with a group of my friends later this evening, and I'm going to be looking forward to telling them about your writing and this particular book because it sounds incredible. And I thank you so much for joining us from Long Island, and I hope we can have you back again on the show sometime soon.
I would love to. Well, thank you for having me. I love to talk about my books.
You do a great job. You're a school teacher. I wouldn't expect anything less. But Linda Marie Frank, thank you so much for joining us today. And we will see you again soon. This is Hope Rosky, again, stepping in for Mike Briggs with Briggs on Books. Hello, this is Hope Rosky with Central Valley Talk with Business, Arts, and Events, and we have my Valley Band, Ginger Blue, on today. I am so glad that you guys made it out here. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right, we have Kurt, we have Rick, we have Brian, and we have Gordon. They are part of Ginger Blue. I know we're missing Joanna today, who's also a vocalist, but we wish you well, Joanna, and hope you get better soon. Guys, you are going to be in Tulare this week, and tell us about where you're going to be, Rick.
Rockin' Horse Saloon, Tulare. I think it's off of 137 off the main drag there.
Okay, so for you people coming from the Fresno area, we're only talking about a 45-minute drive, and for those
Yep.
of you who are like in Visalia, Kingsburg, close by, it's just minutes away. And I can tell you, these guys have been around for a bit and have put out some really great music. And Kurt, tell us a little bit about the first song that we're going to be hearing that you're probably going to be playing out there on Friday night.
Well, this is one of Rick's songs. It's called List of Fools.
List of Fools.
List of Fools. Oh,
Yeah.
hey, wait a minute.
I'm
Have
just
I
playing, I
got
don't
the?
remember.
I've got the list. I've got the list. I can. It just goes. Okay. Anyway, well, hey, folks, you're in for a treat. Let's listen to Ginger Blue play List of Fools.
Are you ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. You took my loving, you took my heart, left me crying, really played your part. You used your body just like a tool. For a moment you had my name on your list of fools. My friends tried to tell me about your game. They called me crazy, you know I call them insane. Just like a fool, you'll be crossing my name right on your list of fools. Now I'm not waiting to play your game. I might be crazy, but I'm no longer insane. Just like the sun, sure to rise. I know in my heart I'll get over your lies. Maybe I'm gonna be an exception to the rule. You'll be crossing my name right off of your list of fools. Now I'm not waiting to play your game. I might be crazy, but I'm no longer insane. Just like the sun, sure to rise. I know in my heart I'll get over your lies. Baby, I'm gonna be an exception to the rule. You'll be crossing my name right off of your list of fools. You'll be crossing my name right off of your list of fools. No, you won't find my name anymore on your list of fools. There you go.
Awesome. Thank you. That was great. That always like kind of puts me, if I'm like feeling like up here and intense, you guys just like bring it and like chill me out. This is like so great. This is why I love your music. It just catches the soul. Tell me a little bit, Gordon, because I mean, you've kind of been into percussion for how long now?
About since I was 12 years
Oh my goodness gracious, that's awesome. Bless your heart. And you know what? I have some friends back in Phoenix. They're part of Phoenix area drummers, and they could just do it from now until the end of time. They just love it. And Brian, how long have you been on the bass?
Recently, actually, I've been playing guitar for 45 years, but playing in a band on bass about two and a half years.
And Rick, I know like you and Kurt have been playing for like since your early years as well. But that says a great deal about the love of music and the passion that you bring.
Yep.
Speaking of which, what is going to be the next song that the viewers are going to hear?
Everyone,
Well-
go for it.
Yeah, okay.
Which one are you going for, Kurt?
Let's see, let's try,
It's going to be a surprise.
it's gonna be a surprise.
All right, surprise. All right, Ginger Blue ready to surprise you.
Okay. You guys wanna try Perfect Dream? We did it pretty well, really nice.
Sure.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
this is a new one. Tell me the chords.
This is a brand new one.
It's A minor.
No, well, you know what?
Do
Let's
it.
go
Do
ahead.
it. No, let's
Okay.
do it.
It's in D.
Okay. D
Brand
minor.
new song we worked up.
D minor.
A minor. C. G. You believe me when I say that I love you? Could you believe me when I say that I'll picture I walk 1,000 miles just to be right here next to you? Perfect hour, perfect day, perfect dream come true. I'll do anything just to see your smiling face again. Give up my tomorrow for this perfect dream come true. Would you let me in now? If I was standing at your front door, could I stay a while now? If I got down on both knees on the floor, I'd give you anything. If I could only find a way, the perfect hour, the perfect day, perfect dream come true. I'll do anything just to see your smiling face again. Give up my tomorrow for this perfect dream come true. F. I know there's been times I've let you down for sure, but I've turned it all around, 'cause baby I've changed, I ain't like that anymore.
Turn the volume up.
I've now got another Ginger Blue favorite on the list. That's great.
Brand new
That's great.
release.
Hey, that's great, Kurt.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Let's go back to like, some of the covers that you do that kind of set people in the mood, or I know like Sweet Home Chicago and Margaritaville, and when you guys are playing, and you're watching the audience, like what is the vibe that you get usually when you watch them?
For me, I pick out usually a table of people or one person and just start talking to them.
Do you mean picking on? No, I'm just kidding.
Exactly. Picking on them.
Yeah, there we go.
I hit you last
I
time.
know.
So, yeah, you just kind of make friends with them. I zero in that person, and it's like we're having a one-on-one, and then that person livens up, and then I spot another one that's not paying attention, and I call them out.
And then you reel them in.
Yes,
You
and
know,
then
and-
at
and
break
it's
time
great.
I'll go talk to them.
Yeah.
And then once you're out there, and all this stuff with musicians let it go to their head, that's all crap. You just go out there and be friends.
Mhm.
You talk to them and
Yeah.
sit with them and find out stuff about them. And I always ask their names, because
Yes, you do.
I do call them out though, and they're too busy on their phone. I'll say, hey, table number one, let's pick on that table. You're not
Sometimes he invites them up to sing. Yeah.
Yeah, we do that.
Yeah.
We do that quite a bit on certain songs, California Dreamin' and
Yeah.
Happy Together and stuff like that. When Joanne's there, we play those besides Fleetwood Mac stuff.
Well,
And it gets them in the mood.
Yeah.
well, I tell you what, let's just get these viewers on the mood for one last song. You pick it, Fleetwood, whichever one you want to do. I'm down. You guys are awesome. Ginger Blue.
We're gonna just do
Mountain Time.
Mountain Time.
Yeah.
I wrote this song. I was thinking about the girl I was in college, and she left one day and said, "I'm going to Colorado." And so I said, "Okay." That was it. Her name was Diana Darling, actually. I still remember. And that was 50-something years ago.
Yeah.
So. Been so long since I've seen her, can't keep a memory away. She was Colorado bound, said she needed to stay. I joined a 4-piece band, 'cause I wanted to play. No matter how hard I try, my heart continues to break. She lives on Mountain Time. She lives on Mountain Time. Sure can feel the love under the hot stage lights. After the show is done, it's a long, lonely night. Sometimes I call her up, but she just lets it ring. There's only so many songs you can write, songs you can sing. She lives on Mountain Time. She lives on Mountain Time. I didn't know how much I loved her. I guess I was too blind to see, too blind to see.
I guess I was too blind to see, too blind to see. It's so long since I've seen her, can't keep a memory away. She was Colorado bound, said she needed space. Sometimes I call her up just to hear it ring. There's only so many songs you can write, songs you can sing. She lives on mountain time. She lives on mountain time. She lives on mountain time. She lives on mountain time.
Ginger Blue, thank you so much for stopping
No
into the
problem.
studio today. We are so glad, always so glad to have you here. If folks want to look you up, it's Ginger Blue Classic Rock and Originals on YouTube and Facebook, correct?
Yes. Correct.
Okay, we know you're playing in Tulare Friday. Any other concerts coming up?
We have June, Friday the 13th.
Uh-oh.
Right, yeah.
At Axis.
Okay.
Up at Tesoro.
We have, I know there's another one.
We have.
I know we're up in Shaver Lake coming up in July.
Excellent.
We have the 5th of July.
The 5th of July.
5th of
yes.
July, Gazebo Gardens.
Yeah.
Okay,
There you
that's,
go.
alrighty, so
Yeah.
you guys have, you've got your schedule no pun intended, rocking and rolling here.
Yeah.
So folks, if you wanna just kind of, chill out, listen to some awesome music, again, check out Ginger Blue, Classic Rock and Originals. Again, go to either YouTube or Facebook. Also come to their concerts live, they're great. So again, Gordon Parrish, Brian Romero, Rick Calhoun, Kurt Groover, thank you so much for stopping into the studio. This is Hope Rosky, Central Valley Talk, Business, Arts, and Events. Peace out. Hello, this is Hope Rosky with Central Valley Talk, and let's talk a little bit about real estate. I would like to welcome my friends here from Real Property Management. Welcome, Platinum, Real Property Management Platinum. Barbara and London, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
I am so glad that you both have decided to come back and tell us a little bit about what's going on with the real estate market, because I know people are just, with the way home sales are right now, it's difficult with interest rates, but there's still rental homes available, and would love to hear a little bit about your perspective. So Barbara, tell us a
Excellent.
little bit about what's going on.
Happy to tell you a little bit.
Great.
You're right, prices are high, interest isn't, people aren't excited about that. But on the rental side of things, our inventory is still really large. We have over 20 homes that are vacant and move-in ready right now. So we have agents showing them, we have people coming in to see them and applying. It's a full-time job. We do have new construction homes that are coming available too, which is always a pleasant surprise to me, because it'll just be usually sometimes an owner investor that will be expanding their portfolio and bring it to us to manage it. And I think as a renter, what could be better? That's a really nice thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of that development is going on in the northeast part of town, and I also know over in the southeast part, it really is expanding out by Clovis North High School, and also out again, as I said, by Southeast Fresno. I see that there are a lot of developments happening, and I think it's great that people have an opportunity when they think about renting a home, that it's like, well, it's going to be an older home, but it doesn't necessarily have to be
No, either
that way.
And same even like the Tesoro Viejo in Madera.
Yes.
There's a lot of homes there too. You're right, lots of directions it can go.
So London, can you tell us a little bit about some of the properties that we're going to take a look at
Oh,
today?
yes. Today we're going to look at 3 properties. One is located in the Riverstone community.
Oh,
So-
speaking of which,
Oh,
out that
yes.
way,
Beautiful
okay.
community, and Barbara will talk about 2 of the other ones. Over in West Madera.
Yeah, west of
Okay.
99 even.
So,
Yes.
you know, and that's interesting because things from Madera, it's like when you think about in that Valley Children's area and whatnot, that, I mean, a lot of people think that borderline is right there by Fresno, so the commute is not horrific by
No,
any
short
stretch of the
drive.
imagination. Well, let's
Exactly.
hear what you've
It's
got
closer than
to.
you think.
Okay.
Yes, I know the viewers are probably wanting to know,
Certainly.
okay, what's up?
Happy to say. I think the first one we're going to talk about is on Monte Vista, and it's a really darling little 3-bedroom, 2-bath home, 1449 square foot. It's really nice. It's turf in the front and the backyard, so it's very low maintenance, and it's move-in ready. So the applications are online. Everything's there to observe, ask questions, and we'd love to have them walk the property and determine if it's a good fit for them.
And, you know, what's nice about having the synthetic grass is it helps to lower the water bill. So when renters go in, they don't have to worry about the landscaping part of it. They can just
Enjoy the low
step back
maintenance
and
yard.
take that sigh of
Yes.
relief. Where,
That's right.
what part of the valley is this located? Because that looks like a newer home.
True. It's actually built in 21, so it's a few years old, and it's west of Highway 99. It's like
Okay.
Cleveland and west, very far west. So, but it's a sidewalk community.
Excellent. Well, that looks like a good one. And again, you said that was a 3-2, correct?
Correct.
Almost 1,500 square feet and low maintenance, folks, which is, and you know what, if you have kids, the backyard's great because the synthetic lawn's already down and kids can play easily and.
You can be
it's
rough
just-
on it.
Yeah, exactly. All righty.
true.
What else do you have?
So our next property that we're going to showcase is 965 Thurman Way. It's located in the Riverstone community of Madera. And like Hope said, it is right off the cuffs of Fresno, at the corner, located at Avenue 12 and Highway 41. This property was built in 2022. It's a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 2 stories. It also has a low-maintenance backyard with synthetic grass. It's a very beautiful landscape backyard. Solar is included, so that is an extra amenity that you can look forward to. A washer and dryer is also included, and HOA is included. What I really like about the Riverstone community is there are a lot of neighborhood parks, walking distance from the property, walking trails, and there's also a school, middle
And
school
you know, I
elementary
have
school.
heard such great things about Golden Hill School District,
Yes.
which is the district that would feed from the Riverstone
Exactly.
community, and Teresa Viejo has a very, very good reputation. So for viewers out there, you know, wondering about that, you know, good school district, great, a matter of fact, I know a few of the teachers that teach in that district, and very close to Valley Children's Hospital too,
Exactly.
which is a huge perk.
And does that one have a swimming pool?
It does. It has
Community pool?
resort-style pools. It has a large lodge. It's very beautiful. And pickleball courts. And those are just a few of the amenities.
I think that's great. And you know, what's nice about having a 2.5 bath is you have that extra half bath and nobody else, that's for the guests and then you.
Located
The rest
downstairs.
of the
Keep it
family.
nice.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
It's
exactly.
conveniently located downstairs,
Yeah.
right by your front door.
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly.
True.
All
I
right.
got one more house we were going to talk about on Autumn Sage, and the cross streets to this one are. Let me.
Well,
find
I
it
love,
for you.
I have to tell you, I love the name Autumn Sage.
True. Copper and Maple are the cross
Oh,
streets.
okay, that's close to Clovis North High School, I believe,
Yeah,
or
in that
Buchanan
vicinity.
in that area, so
And
that's
so
another
it's
good school
technically
district.
Fresno, but it's really close to Clovis.
Sure.
And this one is a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 2-story home. Really, really lovely inside. A lot of nice features about it. And it's same thing, move-in ready, and it's ready to be seen and toured. We're showing it now.
Okay, great. Now, you were mentioning with the second property that the washer and dryer are included. I know with some rentals that may not be the case, but what are people's options if they are not included, the refrigerator, freezer, the washer, dryer? What
Do you
are
want me to
their
take it?
options?
So washers and dryers and refrigerators are really where it's a 50-50 chance if it's included or not. It's something that On the East Coast, people have a tendency to kind of expect it more,
Right.
but for some reason on the West Coast, it's kind of a decision that the landlord makes if it's something they want to include with the rent. So if it's not included, it could be a negotiating tool though also, to speak to us to say, I'll take it if we can do this, or can we have a refrigerator and I'll rent it at this price. So it's always a good conversation to include if that's the final decision, or that's the one thing that's keeping you from wanting the house.
Yeah.
Okay, so for people who are first-time renters, what is the protocol, London? What do they need to do?
If you're a first-time renter, I would encourage them to go on our website, rpmfresno.com, so that they can see all of our available rentals, and you'll see a description of each rental, and then you'll be able to book a showing as well. I would encourage them to book a showing. You'll get a chance to view the property. Sometimes we even have 3D tours that you can take of the property. If you're not in the area, you can call our office and we can tour the property with you over the phone. And then you can apply on our website as well.
Okay, so when it comes to a lease, many times they're traveling nurses, they may not be staying long. Is it traditionally a 12-month lease, or is there ever any flexibility, or what about even going month to month?
Sure. What we offer are long-term rentals, so we don't do short ones, but usually after the 1 year, if they needed to go month to month, that's the standard way that we would go into that.
Sure.
So occasionally it might be possible, but not on general terms, no, it's always a year to start.
And London, how do people qualify? Because there might be some people that their wages, because they're self-employed, they shift, they change. So how does somebody who's self-employed versus somebody who can show the consistent paycheck apply so they can get a rental property?
Well, there's a few qualifications to be approved, and bank statements is one way to also prove your income and show your cash flow.
Okay.
Another thing too, if people are like on a cash system where they may not have it in a bank account, if their last year's tax form would show
Yes.
the income, and that would satisfy what we need to.
That is really good
It's
to
helpful.
know. Absolutely helpful. So, what about pets? I know there is a law now that if somebody has a service animal, even if it says no pets, what are the stipulations?
It is, a service animal is treated like a person. So there's no saying no or declining that candidate because of the animal. Everything else has to qualify, but the animal's never an issue
Okay,
when
and
it's a service animal.
exactly. And then London, let's say the garbage disposal's not working or something's going on. Do they contact the landlord? Do they contact you? How does that work?
That's a great question. They're going to contact us. They will have a portal where they have 24/7 access to call into our maintenance hotline or place, I believe they can do one online. And 24/7, our maintenance team is available to assist them with that.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Oh, yes.
That is always good to know. And that's the difference between owning a home and renting, is that you make the call.
Exactly.
The repair person's there. You may have to be there for the appointment, but regardless, you don't have to hassle with the payment because that comes out from the landlord's side of it, which is great.
And you want it fixed as soon as
As,
possible.
of
Yeah.
course,
Quick.
absolutely,
Quick.
absolutely. So, one of the other things is people need to know, well, like, how much do I have to have up front? And we hear about first and last. What's the procedure with
Sure.
that?
When people talk about first and last, that's usually an apartment type of situation. Ours is the security deposit and the first month's rent.
Oh, okay, so it's a little
I
bit
think
different.
because it's a single-family house,
Mhm.
that might be where people hear different things.
Right, and I think that's good for the viewers to know because there is a little bit of a different language, and there are people that, okay, I've outgrown my apartment, I want a home. So you do homes, do you do condos, townhomes
We
as
do.
well?
We have a
Okay.
few, but mostly single-family homes, but a few of the townhomes and condos
So
too.
we have different size options.
Sure, so when
Price
you go
ranges.
onto the website, can they select just, like, I want a 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, how does that all work, London?
Well, then, when they go on our website, it's very comprehensive and easy to use. all of the properties will be in a row, clearly where you can click on them and get more information. And then if I was searching for a rental, I would also utilize the internet to actually like hone in on the property size and bedroom count that I'm looking for.
And our website has a filter too, so you can say, I need a 3-bedroom.
Oh,
or I
good,
need,
yes.
Or I need also a map to see where in the city it is.
Or I
You know,
need a
if you
garage
what's
versus-
closer
yes.
to where I work, and things like that.
Or a school district and things. I think those are, for anybody, that's a really important
It's
piece.
important to all of us.
Is there any other advice that you feel that the viewers should know as they start into this journey?
It's always good to have your documents ready and kind of collected so you can move more quickly and be able to upload your information, your photo IDs, things so that we can get you approved more quickly.
Okay, and then what about renter's insurance? Can you address that a little bit, London?
Renter's insurance, I might want to give this one
Yeah.
to Barbara.
Okay, Barbara,
Is it
go ahead.
required?
Okay.
Yes.
It is
Yeah,
required,
yeah.
yes it is.
It's something that really protects the renter, and it's just a smart thing to help with
Yes.
your personal belongings.
And when you are approved, we do provide all the information they need to access our preferred renter's insurance policy, so it's very easily accessible and,
And it's not that expensive, really.
No, I've been a renter myself, and I
Like
know that it's not, yes.
$20 a month, maybe 30.
It's
depending
minimal,
on how
depending
much.
on what you
how much
have,
you're
and
insuring.
so, and the one last thing I wanted to address is like, let's say people are smokers, is there a policy that addresses that with renting?
Yes, so there are no smoking houses
Okay.
entirely, and especially even in the city of Fresno, there's some ordinance about no smoking. So it's something that does affect people in their personal lifestyle choices, but we're trying to protect the owner's investment as well. And they
Sure.
don't want to have to get charged, the renter wouldn't want to have to pay to deodorize or get that smoke smell out of the house.
Right.
So that's a serious matter.
Right. And, there's so many things that, go into owning a home, but the nice thing about renting is you just don't have those stressors. That goes to somebody else. It gets deferred to you and then to the landlord. So people really just, all they have to do is just type in and say what the problem is or make a phone call, and they have that
Make us aware.
access to you 24/7, which is great.
Yes.
That is wonderful.
Fun when people like that. And I think we had one more slide too about, on the investor side of things, what we can provide to our owner clients, the landlords, is to help them understand the value and what happens when they are thinking, do I keep a house or do I sell a house?
Oh.
To look at the, appreciation, the tax benefits, things that over 1, 3, 5, and 10 years, how that can look different. Because markets do go up and down.
Sure they do.
But usually hanging on to the land is really valuable.
Absolutely. So it's great to know that you can help both, you're truly helping both sides.
Yes.
Protect, the landlord to their investment and helping people find a wonderful place to
Finding
live.
housing. We try to be the trusted advisor for both parties.
There you go. It's a win-win. Well, Barbara Godfrey and London Lowe, I thank you so much for coming on to the show. Again, they're with Real Property Management Platinum. Again, if you want to get great answers, Barbara Godfrey and London Lowe are experts in helping in this field. This is Hope Rosky with Central Valley Talk Real Estate. Hello, this is Hope Rosky with Central Valley Talk Business, Arts, and Events. And today I am here with Roger Slingerman. Roger, welcome to the show.
Well, thanks, Hope.
It's
Nice to meet you.
It's great to meet you too. So good to have you here. You're with UCP Plus. Can you tell the viewers a little bit about UCP Plus?
I can. We're in a program for persons with disabilities. We have an adult and a children's program. UCP Plus is new to us. We added the plus because it represents all the different disabilities, intellectual and development disabilities that we provide services for, not just cerebral palsy. Cerebral palsy is less than 10% of our population, and it was a time for a refresh. It's time to let people know what we do, and we've been around 71 years. We're established in 1954, and I am the luckiest guy in town because I love what I do, and we're getting ready for a remodel, which we're doing, and a rebrand of our name, and just in a great opportunity for us moving forward.
Well, speaking of which, to make this remodel happen, it's going to need funding, and you are hosting a wonderful sip and see coming up, and that will be next week on Thursday. And if we could bring that flyer up, I think that our viewers would really be interested in knowing more about this particular event, because it's going to be, there's going to be music, there's going to be wine flowing, there's going to be a silent auction. It's a sip and see. So can you tell the viewers a little bit more?
Yeah, I can. So when we decided to do this event, it's in the middle of our construction project. So if you do come to the event, make sure you're comfortable. But it's a renovation project for persons with disabilities. So we had a lot of different changes and adjustments to make to the facility. We have larger doors. We call it ADA plus. So what we want to do is we want people to come and see it, because it is a wow factor. I can't explain it, how much is going on under our roofs in our area. It's a 38,000 square foot facility. We made changes to it. There'll be 13 changing rooms in there, which we provide a lot of basic care for persons with disabilities throughout the year. So it gives us better space to be able to do that. We'll have an inside multi-purpose area that'll sit like 300 for events and things outside of our day program, as well as we'll have an outside area as well. So our goal is not only to utilize it for persons with disabilities, but on the evenings and weekends, that we want the community to come see what our students do, interact with our students in our program, and interact with people with disabilities. So we got a lot planned, we got a lot more to do, and really it's an exciting time for us, and the Sip and See is a way for people to come see the wow factor.
I think that's so important for people to see, where's my money going, and they can come out dressed comfortably. They might need one of these to wear.
Absolutely.
Right? Kids are hard
Absolutely.
at.
Absolutely.
But yes, I think this, what time does it start next week?
It's Thursday, June 5th from 5 to 8 p.m. The DJ will play the whole time. We'll have a band, the Morenos. They'll be playing from 6 to 7 o'clock. It'll be heavy hors d'oeuvres with some pork sliders and tri-tip and wine and beer and a signature drink that'll recognize our unlocking potential. Because our theme is you hold the key to the success of our program, and you hold the key to giving people with disabilities a greater life. So we also have opportunities for people to become part of our Founders Club. Also, maybe even put a name on one of our rooms. And eventually, we're also going to have a Key Holders Club, because it is the key to our success is the donations and the support we get from the community.
That's fabulous. And the cost per ticket is $125.
$125, or a table of 8 for $800.
Correct. And then how do people go sign up for that? If they want to go online, or can they show up the day of? How do people reserve that space?
Well, on our flyer, it has a QR code if you want to do it that way. You can also go to our website at ucpcc.org and click on events, and it'll take you to the event page. You could also contact our office if you had to, but they'll walk you through doing everything online, and it makes it easier for us.
So it's ucppp.org.
No, ucpcc.org. Correct.
cc.org.
Correct.
Okay, great. And that's important for viewers, so they can go online and then just take a little bit of a closer look.
That's correct.
Speaking of a closer look, we have a real quick clip here that we'd like to show the viewers. Can you tell them a little bit about that?
Sure thing. I'm pretty sure this is one of our updates that we do on our construction. It's also our time warp, as they say. But once a week we go in there and we talk about the sheetrock just went up, or we had us it started as tearing down things and then rebuilding, from putting in 13 changing rooms, more than 20 toilets throughout the facility. We've got a nursing area. We've got, really, because of fire and every code, our fire code's a 2-hour firewall. So there's a lot of adjustments and changes, and every day, for me, it's exciting because I get to see it firsthand. What we want people to do is come see it. And, if they follow us on Facebook or one of the YouTubes, we're on everything social media-wise.
Right.
You can see the updates, you see what we're doing, and you can see how to get involved. And really what happens is, if you think about it in life, everybody will end up with being associated with a person with disability one way or the other. You just don't know when.
And that's so true. And in my other profession, I do work with people who have disabilities, and it's really important that the community has this type of location where they can come and feel comfortable. With that said, what area of town, can you give an address?
Yeah, I can. It's 2044 East Nees Avenue. It's on the corner of Maple and Nees Avenue in North Fresno.
Sure.
And not too far from River Park in that area. And I mean, there's a bunch. We're in Church Row, so there was a bunch of churches up and down the street from us, and it's the Old Well Church. We bought it from 5 years ago, and they stayed rent for a few years, and we've been under the renovation project for now pretty much a year and a half, almost 2. And it's a slow process, but it's the right process. We're doing the right thing, and we're going to have an amazing facility in the future.
And what is the expectation of the completion, or where's your goal?
Our goal is right now. The contractor said we looks to be done in December, with everything kind of tied up by early January, so we can start moving into January, and we'll have another event, big event, come next. Maybe March. Maybe we'll do a St. Patrick's Day.
There you go.
Hello to the Irish, right? Aaron Go Bra, whatever works, because then we'd be in the facility at that time, full time.
And you know, people may not be able to attend, but they can still make a donation.
Correct.
Could they still go online and make that contribution
Correct.
online?
Yeah, there's 2 sites. You can go to the ucpcc.org site. You can check on the youholdthekeys.org site on there. That's the best way to give towards the capital campaign. And at that point, we have. And if you really want to come and do a tour, you want to come see it at a different time, please feel free to contact us and come see us, and we'll make that happen, because a lot of people just don't know what's happening.
Well, I'm one of those people, and I
Right.
think I really appreciate you coming out to talk about this. I belong to a Rotary, and
Yep.
these are things that we always like to learn about, as well as other groups in the Valley, so they can make that difference, and people individually also can make that difference, because whatever it is that you can contribute, anything, it makes a difference, because you're serving such a large population. It's true, there are people who have cerebral palsy, but you're branching out to all disabilities.
Correct.
people
And
with
we've been doing
disabilities.
all our disabilities for 50 years.
Right.
It's just we started as CP, and we're part of the national affiliate, and that's an amazing thing. But it was a time for the change. People need to know more. We need to educate them. We've been around 71 years, and most people don't know what we do. So we're fixing that, and that's a great thing.
Well, you certainly helped fix that today, Roger, and I thank you so much for coming out. So folks, once again, we could put up the flyer June 5th, that's a Thursday, and please just take some time in the evening around 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock to go out and have some wonderful hors d'oeuvres, and then have some spirits, beverages, right?
Yep.
And then take a look at the silent auction, because every little contribution, again, it makes a difference in someone's life. And I think that's so important. Roger, please feel free to come back again, any events you have, and it's always good to know that we can reach out to the people in our valley, and they're going to help support.
Absolutely. And I've been coming here for the 9 years that I've been involved, and Mike's been a big supporter, and everybody here at Central Valley Talk, we appreciate the support, and it's great to get a little bit on video and get it out to people, and it's helped us in many, many ways, and it's just more people understand about what we do and who we do it for, and then between our students and our staff, no better place to work.
Well, thank you again, Roger. This is Hope Rosky with Central Valley Talk Business, Arts, and Events.